Hey, hello everybody. Hi, filmmakers.
Hi.
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 Hello.
Hello, audiences. Welcome to another Q&A for the San Francisco Independent Film Festival, the 25th year in a row, 2023. We're very lucky and fortunate to have some cool people, filmmakers with us today on this Q&A. Hey, why don't you guys just go around the room? I'll call you out and introduce yourself and your role on the movie in case we don't know. Marco, you're first on my screen if you would, please.
Yeah, sure. I'm Marco Vélez Esquivia. I'm the writer, producer, and director of Ultraviolencia.
Thank you. Marcella, you're next. Is it Marcella or Marcella?
No, yeah, it's Marcela. It's
Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah, I'm Marcela, and my role is Lina in Ultraviolence.
Thank you. Anna, hi, you're next for me.
Hi, Jason. So my name is Ana Isabel, which is a little bit complicated to say sometimes. So Anna is fine. And then I play Eva in Ultraviolence, which is really exciting.
Thank you. Good to have you here. David, you're next.
Yes, thank you. I'm David Moncada, and I play the role of Federico in Ultraviolence.
And all wonderful performances. We thoroughly enjoyed your movie. Thank you guys for being here. Where are you guys calling in from?
Colombia.
Yeah.
I'm Cali, and the rest is, I guess, in Bogota right now.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
we
right
are.
now.
Fantastic. I'm here in San Francisco. Well, a very thrilling movie and a little bit twisted and also a little bit close to home for filmmakers. You captured that well. Marco, how did this all start? How did Ultraviolence, the movie, come to be?
Um, it's weird always to talk about where ideas come from, but I made a short film as my thesis for my MFA. I did my MFA in France. So I was the only one in my class that did a thriller, while the rest of my buddies made, I don't know, very existential films about being in their 20s. And I made a thriller about an editor that becomes obsessed with the character of the movie is editing the movie. And I like the idea always, but I just wanted to find something new to talk about when I was making it into a feature. So it started to like evolve the idea, and then the Me Too movement was coming in, and I wanted to make also a filmmaker's film, like a filmmaking movie where if you don't know about how movies are made, it doesn't matter. You can still enjoy the thriller aspects of it. But I wanted to make a movie that speak to the audience of the filmmaking community and understand the intrinsities of making a movie and how it's sometimes weird, especially in post-production, when you're editing someone and you feel
I
like
know
you're.
that sensation. I'm a filmmaker too, and I've done the same thing where I go up to a person in the movie and say, "Hey," all really friendly, and they're like taken aback, like, "I don't know you." Oh, that's right, you don't know me. I know you from editing the movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
you might notice like you might meet just in passing, and then you're like feeling that you're best friends with them.
yeah, and I guess that makes me understand how celebrities and actors, maybe you sense this too, when people are ultra friendly with you on the street, but you don't know who they are.
Yeah. So I thought that the concept of making around a film and making about editing a movie also play right now with what we're living in with social media and stuff like that. So we feel like we know people just because we see them on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And I didn't want it to play with that in that sense. I wanted to play between inside the movie,
Mhm.
inside the filmmaking world, and I feel like it kind of speaks to that as well.
Yeah. And just let me jump ahead since you have your actors here. You guys were wonderful. It just made me think about what Mark was saying. I actually thought I was watching filmmakers. Now, is that your wonderful performances? Could you guys tap into this? Because in a sense, you're filmmakers. Maybe you only do acting as far as your role on the set, but you guys were believable as directors and, in this make-believe filmmaking world. Marco,
Um,
David, or Anna. Yeah, Anna, start with you.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like we can really relate to everything because we're around filmmakers all the time. So we see them. I feel like every role that we played, we've encountered before. So we know these characters and their essence. So I think that for me, that was like one of the key things. I guess Eva is like kind of entering into the industry, so she's not she doesn't know that much. She doesn't know everything that goes on, and she's, I feel like, easily impressed, which is
I felt like I was almost watching a documentary, if you will, with you and David of a behind the
yeah,
scenes of the making of a movie, you know?
yeah.
So well done.
David, do you want to comment on that?
Yes, I think, well, in my case, I'm a filmmaker as well, so I kind of know the ways of being a director and the feeling of it, but not actually as Federico. But
Yeah,
I've been
not as a jerk, no.
not as a jerk, yes, but I've known a lot of them, and
Yeah.
I've been around a lot of them,
Yeah.
so it's not that hard to get into that role, and when you put it, I think, as Marco did on the script, like to elevate it to the point of obsession, like that little things that happen to you as a filmmaker, that you want the thing that you're doing to be good and people to like it, and you want to that the people that is around it to be involved and to like what the thing that you're doing and your name is on it. And what Marco did with the script, that is what, like, putting this in the extremer point of obsession, I think is very it's easy to get there, now, to understand how far you can go with that.
Marcella, do you want to comment on this, even though you played an actress as an actor?
Well, I was thrilled like watching them creating like these characters, but for me it was also kind of, well, I don't know. Of course, I'm an actress, but I wanted to get close to that character like in a different way, you know? But of course, it's me also. So I don't know, it was like kind of like the boundaries were like super thin.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. The You were transformed for me as a viewer from the audition tape that was in the movie to your character in the make believe movie. You almost look like two different people.
Well, yeah, I think it was kind of the idea also for me. Yeah, like trying to put my actress like very innocent in some way, like, well, maybe inspiring in myself because I'm not from Bogota. I'm from a little city. So I was putting that thing like I am approaching to the industry like a little,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, like being from a little town, and
Right.
then like of course being the most professional and having like well, makeup and everything, like a big set.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah.
Now, actors, this I joke a little bit, but was Marco more like a Federico, the character, or was he, did he create a great chemistry, a great atmosphere on the set? How was the set?
No, he's Federico. He's a lot like I'm kidding.
He cracked the whip.
Yes. No, I actually think that Marco, it's he makes a lot of effort to build his set with kindness and with empathy and with a lot of talking and understanding these things. Even the difficult scenes, like everything was talked and consent, and with a lot of actually. I believe, like, when you work with Marco, you feel like you are working together, right? Like you are not working for someone, but you are working together on building something together. So I think that's very nice about him.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
one of the best things is like sometimes when you're acting, like directors tell you like exactly what to do, like where to breathe, where to look, like and with Marco, I think that was like one of the best things. Like you can actually create your character, you can actually like have ideas and bring them into the table, and it's like and actually like it's collaborative, which I feel like this is supposed to be a collaborative. Oh my God, that's a hard word.
Right. Yeah,
mhm.
but you're right. That's the way it
Yeah,
should be, and I can't believe, supposedly
yeah,
in past eras it was more harmful, if you will.
right.
Yeah, like feeling an artist because you have your own ideas, and then have the space to discuss them and to create is wonderful. You don't feel like a puppet.
Yeah. Marco, was this your first feature film?
No, this is my fourth film.
Okay. Good.
I've made
Well,
three
well,
other films before this, so I kind of have a bit more experience.
well,
But
good.
all
I
of
mean,
the,
because you had for me, some delicate, challenging scenes, subject matter. Maybe talk about how you accomplish that. Sex scenes, death scenes, fight scenes, arguments.
yeah, um, yeah, we I put it difficult for the script and then the actors who had to play for it, but like David said, we really talked a lot for the film. We did a lot of the pre-production came through the pandemic, through COVID, and so we had long Zooms like everybody did. But through the film, we talked. It's always the same method of talking a lot and give them space of what we're going to create, and then really being specific about what I want on those scenes, especially on the intimate scenes. We really discuss it, talk about it. I bring references, or in some cases I bring let's say photo boards more than storyboards, because I cannot draw. That's why we make films. And we talk about it, and we try to make a set that is collaborative, like Anna said, and we feel like we're making it all together. It's not for me, it's about making art together, and hopefully people like it, and talk about it like in this film.
All right. Ladies, you want to talk about some of these challenging scenes or more complex scenes? How it went?
Well, I think it's always challenging. It's always like, well, you're freaking out before those kind of scenes. But the thing with
What
this,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what are you freaking out about? And I actually more from a direct, like I know, because as a performer, right, it's almost like you now have two things to concern yourself with: the performance and then safety, if you will.
yeah, of course. But in this case, it wasn't about safety because I think we were like in a very safe environment, provided by Marco and by all the actors. We are friends from before, from before the
Mhm.
movie.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
know them all. So I feel like I am super safe.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's just like you feel so exposed, and maybe you're not going to be naked. Maybe you don't even need that. But I don't know. Maybe I think it's just I don't know, idea or some boundary that it's like you feel vulnerable. But it's also one thing that I love of being an actress, feeling vulnerable. So you have to combine both things, and just se me fue la palabra, como confiar.
You just have to
Trust.
trust. Yeah.
Gosh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you just have to trust your team and everyone. No.
And that's an actor's life's work, right? I mean, it
Right.
never kind of ends, right?
Yeah, and well, and as I said before, because I had a bad experience before, like in another movie with this kind of scenes, but in this one I was like super confident about everyone.
Nice, good. Anna, you want to talk about,
Yeah, for me,
getting murdered? Not to give
I think that was harder than the sex scenes, because for me it's actually like, it's really funny. Like I would like to do a documentary of like how funny a sex scene can be, because to me it's like weird. Like sometimes like you're not even like actually like on top of each other, but actually like you're on top of the camera and stuff like that. So
Right.
for me it was just like funny.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's
sorry,
awkward.
Marcela, that you had a bad experience. I haven't had bad experiences, so I feel like I come into work a little bit like with a little bit more confidence, and I hope I never get to experience anything bad on set, nor should anyone. But yeah, like Marcela said, we're friends from before, and Marco really does, because I do feel that the director sets the tone for how life is going to be on set, and everyone was just extremely respectful and just like making you just feel like at home even though you're on set. But the death, that's a whole other thing. I didn't want my character to die, so I think I fought it till the end. And I was like,
And
I
she
don't want to
struggled,
film
and she
this.
wanted to change the script.
Yes, I think I was like Francisco, like I wanted to change the script, I wanted to change the ending of the film. But yeah,
True story. True story.
it's true. But yeah, like you just have to like know your boundaries, know, talk to your partner, which in this case was Santiago, who's a very generous actor, and just kind of talk it out, practice, kind of, because it's like a choreography as well. So like, and talk to everyone in the crew, so like everyone's fine, have a safe word and stuff like that. But I think everyone on set just made everything so easy.
Good. David, did you want to add something to that?
Yeah, well, for me, for example, was the first time I had to do like an intimate scene, and on script it was a heavy intimate scene because it was about abuse. So I was really, really nervous. I remember when I received the script from Marco, I was like, I love this, but I'm worried about this scene, particular scene. And I remember there was a lot of talking with Marco and with Marce, and even I remember after one of our meetings, Marco sent us an email, like, and I really liked this. He sent us an email like saying, these are the shots that we're going to do with references and stuff. And that was amazing because some directors won't get you involved like in how how they want it to look, like how is the size of the shot, or how is the movement is going to be. But Marco did it, and that was an easy way, at least for me, to say, okay, so this is what we're going to see. This is what we're going to see in here, and we're going to make this seem believable. And it's not that bad what we're actually are going to have to do. No, so I that was that, like that talking and that specific way of Markov explaining what we're going to do, like lifted all the weight. I believe,
Yeah.
and also, as Marce was saying, we were friends from before, so there was a lot of honest, friendly talking that
Right.
allow us to do it.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of things here, and it's wonderful. So, communication is important, and then also, Marco, you had a good team around you. You hire people that you can work with, and you guys have relationships before this movie. Well, let's talk about that. How did the cast come on board? Were these people you worked with before? It's like I'm writing for them, or did you audition, or did you have a casting director? How these guys come onto the project?
First of all, I didn't know they were all friends. I knew some of them knew each other, but not to the extent of like, yeah, we know each other. Like they talked about when they got cast. They one night they started talking like, hey, what are you doing next? I'm doing a movie with Marco. Me too. I'm doing a movie with Marco. So it's like it was funny.
But
I actually,
luckily it wasn't like, oh, I'm doing a movie with Marco.
yeah. I remember that I was in a party at Santiago's house, and it was just like Marco said. Like Santiago told me, "What are you doing this year? What is your next project?" And I was like, "I'm doing this movie with Marco Vélez. Do you know him?" I'm also doing a movie with Marco Belli. Which one? And yeah, so it was a very nice surprise too that we all knew each other.
Did you guys
Um,
audition for the role for the movie?
no, I hate casting. I hate auditions. As a director, I find it really I don't know. I just don't like the process. Even if the film has inside the movie has casting scenes and stuff. But as a director, I actually hate those things. I prefer to watch everything they do. I do a lot of homework as a director. I watch lots and lots of stuff of what people are doing. I watch short films. I go to plays they do. I try to watch everything they're involved with, even if it's very far away from films I'm making or I'm gonna be making, but still gives me a range and gives me an idea of who they are, and then hopefully we can meet and talk and have a coffee and just talk about film and knowing them as a person, why they're passionate about making films, and that gives me an idea. And then when I start writing, I usually start like, I don't know, maybe this person will work for this and someone will work for that, and then I give them the script first and read it, especially this one, which is very complicated and has some extreme scenes, intimate scenes, death scenes, and the subject matter as well. So I want to make sure they read the script and they understand, and then I explain them what I'm trying to accomplish, and if they like it, they can come on board. If not, it's okay. We can always work in the future in another projects. But they all said yes, so that's really nice, and I love the experience of working with them. I want to make more movies with them.
Actors, do you think there was a shorthand because of your prior connections or friendships? Like, did it make for the acting, the movie making process a little easier or a little bit more free?
Well,
So,
for me, it did, yes. Anna, please, Anna. I was just going to say yes.
so I feel like the industry here is a little bit small. So once you're like in, you kind of start getting to know people. And I feel like that's an advantage when it comes to this, because you get to actually work with friends or with people that you know. And I feel like that gives you sort of that sense of confidence that you are creating, and they know what you're doing, and like you've already worked with some people before, or you've already talked to them, because sometimes like you're thrown into set. So like you said, like you go to an audition, you get a call back, and then you're just thrown into set, and like you're like, you created your own character, but you haven't talked to anyone, and you don't know like kind of what's going on. So I think that getting to know people beforehand really helped. Also because like, especially actors, we do a lot of waiting on set. Not so much in this film. I feel like we were like go go go, but you do have wait times. So if you have someone to talk to, and you can just like chill on set and stuff like that, I think that helps a lot. Also when like I feel like our set was like a comedy behind, like you know, we were making a drama, but sometimes it felt like we were doing a comedy, because all of these people are so funny. Like you don't understand, like the people that are in this film are like the funniest people I've ever met. So it was just hilarious, and we were just laughing, and then we would have to go on the scene and like cry or whatever. But like,
So you didn't mind waiting the downtime on
oh
set.
no, it was
Yeah.
so much fun. I kept
Yeah.
telling Marco like the last day, I was like, no, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Like I don't want to leave. I don't want it
Yes.
to end. Let's keep going.
Yes, you have this sensation of wanting to be on the set more. You know, I actually remember talking with Alejandro, that is the other producer, with Marco. Like, I want to come tomorrow to the set, but you don't have any scenes. But can I come? Because it was really like the movie. It's a thriller, you know, a dark
Right.
thriller. But the process of making it was a party with your friends.
Yeah, nice. Marco, good job.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels so good to hear all this stuff. Now I'm gonna become like Federico.
Well, then also when you, no matter the subject or the genre, that you create a comfortable working environment, a fun working place, it's going to show up in the movie, and you made a great movie.
Thank
know?
you.
Yeah.
I think we all made a fantastic film. We're very proud of it, and I believe in if we're making a thriller, a drama, a horror film, whatever we're making, that those elements of genre have to be on screen, not behind the scenes. Hopefully, we can have fun on set, and we can laugh and enjoy, because making film, especially in Colombia, is very hard. Especially from the financing standpoint. I know it's hard everywhere, but let's say in Colombia it's a bit harder because our industry is small. And I don't know, I just took a mantra of having fun on set and enjoying the process of making a movie, because it's very hard to be pitching your film to investors, to donors, to everybody that gives us money to make our film. And I'm not gonna be stressed on set. Well, you always stress on set because they're laughing, but they're having great fun. And while you're just like, oh my dear Lord, can we just push through this? I know this is funny, but let's just give me another take, please. Can we make it serious this time, guys? And but they're always laughing, always until we say action, and then they're, like Sean Penn, they just transform into their character, and it's unbelievable. Yeah. And then we say cut, and then they're laughing, and they're like, okay, what do we do next? And what Anna said, I hate waiting on set as a director. I just find it draining. Your energy goes away, and you have to be, between that action and cut, you need to be very, very involved with what they do. And I just think that I just want them to do. I want to be rolling, yeah. and see them make art.
Did you have any challenges? What was a major challenge? Not like money, of course. Money is always a challenge, but like during production or post-production?
Yeah, money.
That always comes up, but did you have something like a location challenge, or the camera broke, or I don't know?
No, it was really, it was nice. It was a nice shoot. I think it was the best shoot I've ever had so far. In my other films, I've had bad days where the camera breaks, or we lost footage or something. But
maybe VFX.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's this little scene where Marcela's character is hanged from the neck. She killed herself. That was fun to do, I guess. That's the word I'll put it. Marce had to work really hard that day.
But it was super fun. It was super fun. I loved it.
But it was so creepy. It was way too creepy to do the scene, because we had VFX supervisor on set, and their team there to do all the plates and the stuff and all that fun stuff that you have to do for that small VFX. And we finished that scene and we started shooting something else, and he went to the computer like really fast with the footage, and then that same day or the next morning we already had a comp of that scene. It was just like, holy fucking Christ.
Yeah, that's fast.
And so we were like, yeah, it was very rough, but we just saw like, okay, so this is rough, we did it okay, because I wanted to like make sure that it was fine, or if we had to shoot it again. And
well, that's besides that was one of the only major challenges. That's a pretty good shoot, like you said.
Yeah, it was fun. And I can't remember anything bad. Maybe Alejandro, my producer, can remember.
Yeah, let's ask the AD or one of the other line producers.
No, I remember one. I remember, but I didn't have to deal with this. But Alejandro had to deal, and I think David, but you were in the band when this happened. So when we were shooting, when we were shooting the film, there was a big protest here in Colombia, especially in Bogota. It was a big one where we were shooting. So they closed off kind of where we were shooting. So David was with Alejandro, and they had to like leave the van there and just walk to set.
Yeah.
And it was like 2-3 kilometers. And then the driver was on that protest for like the rest of the day. But we had to deal with stuff like that, but that's exterior stuff that is just
and movie making is hard, period, in and of itself.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to just comment on too, since it's the actors here, and maybe you too, Marco. Again, I really enjoyed your performances. You guys are really natural and believable and fun to watch. But Marco, credit to you. You have a lot of reaction shots. There's a lot of times where the main character's talking and we're just on them in their heads. And I think now I'm remembering back. It's like, oh, that's why I enjoyed your performances so much. We're on you guys a lot. It's not just when you're talking, but when you're kind of brooding or having emotion.
Yeah, I just
Was
feel
to-
like I I think that I don't know, Hitchcock kind of said it. It's not about like filming performances or something doing the script. It's just acting, and I sometimes find it more interesting sometimes where people are reacting to something the
Yeah.
other character is saying, especially when uh, David's character has this huge monologues, which were fun to see him do over and over again. So it's really, and he did it really like the same way as when we're doing the reaction shots. He's just like not trying to cop out from that. He was just like doing it again, even if the camera was not on him.
Right.
So
Like that scene with him after watching the final cut or the ending shot, and he gets Anna's character's name wrong, and it's on Anna's reaction shot. It's great. I mean, it's tense, and it's like, oh, creep, and you feel sorry for you were in those characters' positions.
yeah.
Well done, actors.
Thank you.
so
Thank you so much.
much.
Thank you so much. I think I was going to say that it also has a lot to do with Anna was saying before, that it the I think we had a very generous cast. Like we
Mhm.
were all like very involved in making everyone enjoy what they were doing and making everyone
Right.
like, I don't know the word, but like shine
Yeah.
with their performance. So I believe like none of us were as Mark was saying before, coping out at any moment, like just trying to do our best for each other.
For sure.
Sweet. Sweet. Well, we only got time for one more question. You can add whatever you want here, but what's a takeaway? And David, my screen's on you right now. What's a memory, a takeaway, or something from this experience that you want to share? Or
Okay,
something you learned?
I don't know.
Something you learned. I
Well,
don't know.
I learned a lot of stuff because this is actually my first
Sure.
film, my first long feature.
Wow.
So I learned everything. So I learned yeah, I learned a lot, and I really had a lot of fun. And I think the biggest learning is, as I was saying at the beginning, I'm also a filmmaker, and what how in the final product, or in the quality of the final product, you can see that it was
Mm.
a good shooting, that it was a good experience for people when they were making it. I don't know, it's kind of mystical, but I believe all the fun we had, all the joy we had, everything that happened between us as human beings on shooting, you can see on the final picture. And then when we saw it, when we were able to show it, it's like you feel so proud, because it's like, okay, this reflects the
Yeah.
happiness I had
Yeah.
before. No?
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Marcella,
Yeah.
how about you? Final words? Anything you learned or want to share?
Well, for me, it was like wonderful, like super challenging, having like two roles in one. So it was super fun for me, and transforming in one feature film and having the chance to be like, well, I don't know, had like a lot of action, like being kidnapped and well, everything. So for me, it was like super fun, and also having the challenge. Well, for me, that is like in my heart forever. Like that scene with the two actors that you see in the table, like in a jump cut with Santiago and then Raul. It was like super challenging for me, but super fun. to do.
Yeah. You were working hard. You had multiple personalities. Well done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It was like a super beautiful, loving experience, and I will have it in my heart forever.
That's awesome. Anna, how about you? Takeaway, memory, anything you learned?
I think what I'm gonna take away from this film and what I've reflected on after we finished and everything is that the process can be good. You know, like I was saying, like, universe, please allow me to be on set with people who don't think that you have to suffer in order to make art. Like you said, like filmmaking is already hard, but some people just make it harder because they think that you have to suffer. And I remember I was very nervous when we were gonna see it for the first time. I didn't want to see it because for me, like, the movie itself is the process, you know, and the result. Some people like think that you have to do whatever it takes to get a certain result. And I don't agree with that anymore, because I was on a set where you could actually like just be creative and have fun, and then you can actually have a good result. But that's not the only goal. Like your goal should also be to have a good process and to have fun, because that's what we do on a daily basis. And so it should be a good, safe space. Yeah.
Totally agree. And Marco, last but not least, any final parting words?
Oh, no, it was a great experience to make the film. Like David said, we had so much fun, and that reflects on the film in a mystical way. I do believe that. It's kind of adapting what Tarkovsky said in his book. Like, if you're very, very passionate about this shot, about a cup of coffee, it kind of like, I don't know, the medium of film kind of like makes it like the audience care about that cup of coffee, that shot of the cup of coffee. And if we had great time on behind the scenes and we were very collaborative and we worked together to make the film, I don't believe in the auteur theory. I believe in it's a collaborative effort of not only the people that are in front of the camera, but also behind the camera. And I usually work with the same team, and they're just fantastic. I need to use this space to say thank you to all of them, from the PAs to all the way to the composer and the musicians, because you know it's very hard, especially as a director. You know, Jason, you get to post and you're already like, by the end of post, you're like already dead. You know, your energy is already on the floor, and then the composer comes in, or sound mixing, and you start seeing the film again. You know, you start feeling excited again. You start, because it's a grind. You know,
Well, you captured you know the filmmaking movie well. I could totally relate. So good job. I got to wrap this up. I could talk to you guys all day. I hope I meet you in person someday.
Me too.
Hopefully.
Hopefully next year.
Yeah, maybe
would
next
be
year. In the
lovely.
meantime, if someone wants to reach out, if a fan wants to connect with you guys want to share how they can get in touch with you, like through social media. Marco, do you want to go first? If you want to tell them your Instagram or social media, whatever.
Yeah, they can go to our website where it has all the information about the film and also the socials. They can go to how do you say guion miércoles?
Slash? No.
I don't know. That's slash? No.
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 That's not slash.
Right, didn't show it like this.
You can go to our website to
Line.
for producciones .com, and
What
you
is that
can
line
find,
for?
yeah, it's like line, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dash.
Dash.
But low.
Oh, there's master's degree has to
We're
work
learning
for
here.
We'll Google your name. Or
No.
Exactly.
And how about you, Marcela? Are you on Instagram or Facebook or anything?
Yeah, but I have the same
With
thing
that.
as Marco. I have that one. I am in Instagram. You can find me as Marcela Robledo, and that low dash, I think.
underscore?
Lower.
We'll
I
just
don't
look
know
for
how
your
it's
name.
called.
I think we just need to write it.
I'm afraid to ask Anna and David the same thing because we're just gonna, yeah.
Mine is it's
Yes.
Ana Castillo, so it's perfect for English speakers because
Okay, good.
it's Ana Castillo. It gets confusing
And-
for Spanish speakers, but you know.
Yeah.
And mine is David Moncada. Ba. Yes, that.
That's
Yes.
it.
Okay.
Should we write it down? I
We,
don't
we
know.
will look for you.
We should.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Anyways, guys, congratulations. Not only in making a movie, because that's an achievement in and of itself, but getting into our film festival. Thank you for participating. It was a pleasure talking to you guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
you
you
very
for
much.
having us.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
You're
Jason.
welcome. Congrats and good luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank
Jason.
you.
Bye.
All right. Ciao. And how do I stop recording? Right there.